All right. Well, we are here today. I'm actually doing another development video because I don't really play WoW anymore. Just kidding. No. Yeah, so if you might have noticed, there's a new boss in Molten Core that I added. I wanted to make him part of the Scourge event, basically, is what I wanted to do, right? I just wanted to have an additional boss, something to tie things together. He is scripted, and I'm also going to have some voice acting for him. So, yeah, that'll be fun. I think he's a fun fight so far. Kind of reminiscent of Nightbane, to be honest, but I'm trying to make it unique as well. So, anyway, let's see. So, first thing I'm doing really is just trying to figure out what I actually want to put as an item for him. So, let's see. Item. Stat. Dun 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 dun. So there's a couple things. There's one item. What the heck is it called again? Dang it, man. It's so hard for me to keep track of every little thing sometimes. Let's see. Simple item reroll. Wait. Reroll. Basically, here we go. Okay. Oh. Date item set. Hell. Spell ID 1. And it's 41605. Okay, so I have a mod that basically gives you random stats on your gear whenever you loot something or craft something. However, for purchased things, you can't put stats on them. The extra enchant stats they just don't show up, right? So the solution to that is a custom item. Just got released. Called the Attribute Recalibrator. And what this does is it gives you stats on an item that you didn't have stats on before, or it will reroll an item for you. So, yeah. Anyway, and I don't have a source for these yet, so I'm probably going to put one source on him, and I'll put other sources elsewhere as well. I don't want to make them easily available, because I don't think you should have many opportunities to reroll RNG. I do like having that functionality available though, like say you got, I don't know, a piece of tier gear that just has really crappy stats on it, or maybe, I don't know, oh, a good example. So, where is my legendaries? So let's say you got a crappy random enchantment on ATS, for example. Oh yeah, they also work on quests. Well, you can use this item to reroll that stat. Same with, you know, Shadowmourne or Thunder Fury. Honestly, I don't like that model. I'm probably gonna moose that. But yeah, so that's one thing that I'll be adding. The other thing that I want to add is additional trinkets, because trinkets are extremely hard to come by on the early stages of the game. And yeah, I just like trinkets. Trinkets are a fun opportunity to do something unique and different. And yeah, I do kind of want to put a mount on him, but I already have another mount in the instance. So yeah, I've been working really hard to create custom scripted bosses here in Molten Core as well. So anyway, let's see. What am I going to start with today? I am probably... Oh, I want to also do a staff. And honestly, there's a great paucity of bracers in Molten Core, and I get that, like, you get them from tier gear or whatever. But I think it would be nice to have, like... I don't know. I don't know. I have to look at the bracers, but I'm going to be putting bracers in. Probably leather, cloth, and mail, and yeah, just all of them. So I'll be a bracer boss. I know that's kind of boring, but I want to make sure that he's got useful gear on him. So anyway, I'm going to show you guys how to import or update a model, basically. Because there's a staff that I've been wanting to implement in the game. I have no idea what it really is going to look like, but it is a custom weapon appearance, so we'll find out how that looks like together. So let's see. I'm going to do my best to run you guys through everything that I possibly can. I don't always have things to say while I'm in the middle of stuff because it distracts me, but I'm going to be trying anyway. So let's see. Desktop. Custom appearances, item, objects, and let me make sure. I'm gonna have to get out of my game, but remember if I think I've imported all these already. Anyway, shoot, just lost the icon that I was working on. So. Let's see, custom appearances, icons. Icons are different, right? So, let's see. Lost the icon that I had. Because I'm going to be importing the new icons as well. I don't have new icons for everything. I'm honestly kind of lazy when it comes to icons. I don't really care as much. But I know it's kind of nice, and it's probably one of the things that I'll do last. So I got my icon. Great. I got, let me open my item. Let's see. My DBC for item display info, I believe. I'm trying to remember. So many of these DBCs to keep track of that it's super easy for me to forget what I need to modify and where I need to modify it. So. Okay, so yeah, item display info is going to be right here, and the one that I'm concerned with is called generic staff 19, I believe. So let's see, 19, yes, and I want to make sure that I'm using the right color. Probably go with red. I don't know, maybe the original one too. Shoot, it's okay. All right, so inventory icon is going to be the name of whatever I pulled up before. So this is that name. Right, let's see. So item shizhound. Oh my hell. 264. That's it right there, right? No, 02. 0264. I think it's that one. Nope. Line today. Also, my kid may interrupt my stream. I'm trying to get him to sleep through the night without any help, though. So, yeah. And okay, so I'm adding the inventory icon to this staff just so that I have something unique. I'll probably add both these in, the red and the normal one. I'm just gonna see what they look like first and go from there. But yeah, this stream is going to be covering a lot of things when it comes to creating items. I'm also going to be creating some custom spells, so you'll get to see some of that. And then hopefully I have time to go start on the Scourge Invasion in Orgrimmar, but I probably won't get that until later tonight because a lot of this stuff is just super time consuming. So Let's see. I think those all the same colors, so I don't need to worry about different icons for you guys. Four. All right, so great. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 right there, and I'm just gonna see what they all look like, and I think they're gonna be really awesome because I've seen previews of them, but I'm not really sure because they're kind of unique. So let's see. Next thing I need to do is save this. And item display info is the next thing. But actually, I'm just going to create the item first in my database. So let's see. And I'm going to use as a template an already existing item because that's just the easiest way to go about it. I'm trying to remember the name of the staff here in Molten Core. But Staff of Dominance, the crappy staff that no one liked. Probably gonna be adding gems to these items as well. So the bracers might get gems. I know if that ends up undermining gear later on, I'll probably just end up buffing gear later on, if that makes sense. But I do have a gem pathway essentially set for Classic WoW. I do plan on adding more gem slots for like things probably for tier 2 and above. We'll see. But yeah, this is actually a harder boss. He's probably more in line with something you would experience in BWL, kind of like Ragnaros is. But yeah. So anyway, let's see. Ooh, a dagger would be nice. A spell dagger of some sort would actually be good because there's only a crappy spell dagger. So I'll probably end up importing a custom appearance there too. Let's see. Daggers. Let's look at daggers. There's a crap ton of daggers, but there was a newer dagger that I really liked. That was... I can't remember what it was called. Dagger. Let's see. Go. Sorry, I'm getting a little distracted here, but just looking for models to import potentially. Oh my hell. Okay, weapons. Daggers. A filter. And then the primordial molten spellblade. And I want to know what this one is, because this looks cool too. Maybe, let's see. What is this? This is a dagger as well. I like all of those, man. Okay. What I'm... let's see, view in 3D. Let me look at that. Ooh. Ooh, that is probably perfect, actually, for what I want to do. So yeah, I'll add a spell dagger. And this is a newer model, I think, from BFA, so... let's see what we got. So, inventory knife, one-handed, primalist, raid. So this is a tool called WoW Export. I'll try to leave a link in the description with all my tools that I use. Let's see, primalist, raid. Well, that's not useful at all. Let's see. So these are... okay. These are all... Where's my weapons, man? Could be that this is not updated. It's the most recent. Yeah, let me try. Okay, let's see. So, tools. Now export. Data. Absolutely nothing. They're doing the most recent WoW. Yeah, it's possible that it just hasn't updated yet. But I really like this Smolder's Claw or something. You know what I mean? While that's happening, I'm just going to do this real quick. And I'm going to go ahead and pull up Staff of Dominance. Said, going to go into my Acor world, going into item template. And let's see, Staff Dominance. I'm just going to go ahead and duplicate that one. Keys and a unique ID. I don't know. Cool. Cool, cool, cool. All right, let's see. So staff dominance. Well, that's close enough. All right, 60,000. I actually have a good list of items on my other server that I'm going to be pulling from as well. So that's why I really just didn't know what I wanted to do, because I don't really have everything that I made over there memorized, but it would work extremely well over here too. So let's see. So staff dominance. I'm just gonna call this. Let's see. Let's see. Let's just call it. I know this is a bit generic at the moment, but okay. Let's see. We'll just go with that for now. I don't care. And then the item display information I'm going to get from here. So this is going to be right there. It's 9143. And you can see that I've actually imported a lot of these already. But I just haven't gotten around to doing all of them yet. And I am going to make them all available at some point, somehow, somewhere. But yes. And these are all fake items. Anyway. Yeah. So I'm not going to worry about the stats right now. I just want to get the model imported. I want to see what it looks like. And I'm going to go from there, basically. May do some haste, actually, because there's not a whole lot of haste in Classic. But there's a lot of crit, so that might be good. That's actually a good thing. Yeah. I think the items that I'm going to do will probably have items that or stats that you really can't get in Classic, but would still be beneficial anyway. That's a good approach. Yeah. The problem is that some of those things I'll have to make enough of that they're actually useful. But yes. Okay, so got this. Let me see. I'm going to pull up my... I'm going to pull up my Wowhead again. Because it was Primalist. I don't know. Maybe they just don't have it yet. Yeah, it doesn't look like they do. Alright, so I'll skip that for now. There's a bunch of other items that I could import. Yeah. Icons, I believe, but anyway, worry about that later. Let's just do this for now. And all right, let's do. Probably gonna restart my server here shortly. There is an item reloader mod, but I don't think it's working right now. It has to be adapted for the more recent core. But yeah, let's see. Blazing Fury. Next thing I need to do is the item DBC, and you don't really need to change this in your actual DBC, WoW DBC, usually. But I just like to be consistent across the board. So we're just going to go ahead and do that, and then I'm going to import it as an MPQ. Not a new MPQ, just one that, you know, already exists. Let's see, so 6091. I hate that. 60091. That was the ID that we gave it. Yep. All right, cool. So 6091, and then the display info ID is right here as well. And we're just gonna go ahead and save that as again, and then I'm gonna get out of this. See. So X'd out. Just shut down everything as well. Guys, I can't tell you how excited I am for some of the custom stuff that I've got going on. And I know, like, not everyone's a fan of custom content, but I try to be a minimalist about some of the things that I add. I try to make them optional. I try to make them fun. I don't want it to be lore breaking. I don't want it to just be something silly. But I do want it to carry basically a Blizz-like tone. And so my goal is to ensure that things stay in the spirit of Blizz, I guess you could say. So let's see. Wow, export. Nope, that's not what I need. What am I doing? I'm so tired. And delete my cache first. Let's do that. Then we're gonna go to Lattice MPQ editor. I'm gonna open the MPQs. I'm gonna look for my custom MPQ where I have all my junk, which I'm gonna be sharing with everyone. And let's see. So what I need is the item DBC, which I can get from over here. Again, item. And I'm going to import the item display info too, because I just updated that, right? So let's see, item display info. Yes. Item DBC. Yes. Style that. Start up the server. Oops. That's not going to ruin anything. That's okay. So earlier this week, I actually did end up ruining my database and freaked out because I had created a lot of custom content, but luckily I had enough of it backed up that it wasn't a big deal, and I already had all the scripts written up. So yeah, and then that That's something I'm going to need to fix. Let's see. Alright, let's open WoW. And get back in. I'll just see what the staff looks like. Yeah, he just spawns from above, but anyway. I thought about making him flying and then landing, but I've been having some difficulties making him frickin' land when he enters combat. Disabling flying didn't seem to actually do anything with my Lewis script, so... but I wasn't getting any errors either, so I'm not sure what the heck's going on there. I've been using the correct API, so who knows? It's just... whatever. Alright, let's see. So, Blazing Fury. Let's just see what it looks like first, shall we? Alright, that is not bad. That's not what I actually thought it was going to look like. But that's okay. So what we're going to do instead is I'm going to look at the models again for this custom stuff. So let's see. Just wish there was an easier way. It's crap. Hold on. Oh, whatever. I just want to do stuff that's thematically appropriate, you know what I mean? So something with dragons, maybe, something like that. But that's a mace, right? I don't care about mace. That one, eh. Let's see. That one is more of a Black Temple staff. That one's definitely going to be part of Nax or ICC. I mean, 06. Okay, maybe that one. That's a contender. This is also a contender. Don't know what that is. By the way, the guy who made all these, his name is Sin. And he's done an amazing job. Okay, let's see. I think it was 06, right? That's the one. Cool. So, yeah, 06 it is. Just make sure. Yeah, and then I think there's a red version of that too. So let's just go ahead and see. I think that's... pretty sure that's the intended. Maybe that one? Shoot, it's so hard to tell sometimes, guys. So I can't blow these up. I guess it doesn't matter. No one will notice and know the difference except for Sin. But I kind of doubt that he watches my streams anyway, so... Alright. 664. So let's go ahead and open my item DBC again. And this is generic staff 6, so item display info. Let's go back in here. I promise we'll actually get to creating stats and stuff like that for... Anyway. I'm gonna make this staff and this gear on par with BWL gear. But yeah, let's see. So staff 6. Honestly, when it comes to modifying anything, ooh, the VIP stabs. Let's see what's down there. I don't know if he has the VIP stabs on here. Oh, he does. What's that though? I don't know. We'll find out. There's like 3 VIP stabs. But they're all the same, actually. They're just... Okay, so 06. Or 03. No, it was 03. Shoot. I have the memory of a cheese grater, guys. Yes, it was 06. Okay, we're doing 06. And we're just going to do... probably the... I want to say that this is going to be the red one. If there's not a red one, then maybe I'll go with the VIP staff. And I'm just trying to think of what else I could do. It's okay. Doesn't matter. I'll figure it out. And I'm going to use the icon. I think that's it, actually. Probably. And doesn't make a difference. And people can correct me if they want. I'm open to correction. Alright, so that's that. And this is going to be that one. So let's just switch. Let's just make a new model. Or a new... rather... a new item. We'll call it Blazing Fury. And we'll rename the other one. And this one will have the model. Now we're going to go ahead and save that, if I haven't saved it already. I'm going to go ahead and open my item DBC. Open that. And we're going to go all the way to the bottom again. Insert line 60902. Okay. Paste that number here. Save. Exit. Exit out of everything. Okay. I really like that staff, by the way. I think it's super cool. Probably something I would put... I don't know. I'm going to have to think about where to put that one. but I'm going to use it eventually. I really like it. So, okay. So we're shut down. Exit out of that. Gotta import the stupid MPQs again. Cache while I'm here. Tell me I saved. Files client. Alright, so DB item DBC, item display info DBC. Open those, hit yes. Exit out of that. Exit out of my server completely. Start my server up again. And here we go. Cool. Okay. Let's try that again. Go ahead and add the item. I won't be able to equip it because I'm only level 30, but it doesn't matter. You know what? Hopefully... Okay, well, I can live with that for this boss in particular. Yes, I think that'll be good. I'm looking forward to actually importing the dagger as well. Let me actually look and see if I can import a staff that looks awesome for this fight in particular. I'm going to do that. But let's see, staves. Nope, I need... Give me transmogs. Let's see, transmog items, weapons, staff. There's so many cool looking weapons. And I might just... Again, this is probably a primalist one, isn't it? Yes, it is. So I don't have access to that. Let's look at some of the other stuff. I could do the Terragosa's staff. But to be honest, I'd rather actually import that and the stats that go along with it. I like the equipped effect on there. I'd have to figure out a good way to make that happen though. I wonder if this one... I have a feeling that one would show up backwards though. So a lot of these, one of the unfortunate things about importing, it's Primalist Raid, importing weapons from later expansions, is that oftentimes they'll show up backwards. So for some people that doesn't matter because they've actually never played the original game, or they don't play the original game rather. Okay, that is a good staff. Let's do maybe that one, and then you guys can learn. Dragon PvP. Okay. Shoot, hold on. Dragon PvP. Why is there no weapons freaking showing up? They're supposed to. There's no reason why they shouldn't be. Staff. Okay, well, here's what we're gonna do. Your staff. Oh, I can't. Okay, so again, this is a newer model that probably... Staff two-handed. Let's try. Let's try. There's so much crap though. Let's see. I would have to sift through. Straws NPC. Dragon. I don't know what that is, but okay. You guys see that these look screwed up, but you can actually fix those, so. Artifact. I don't know, man. Sheep stick. That's cool. I'd be putting more of these, by the way. Train our PvP staff. Actually like that one. I don't want to get too picky. I mean, this is the kind of stuff that takes so much time. Okay, well. It's not what I want. Alright, what was it that I was at? I'm trying to remember where it was now. Staff. That's a good one too. But that tail thing will probably stick out straight because I have a feeling it moves. Oh, that's a good one. Cataclysm. Yeah, I remember that one. I like that stuff too. Okay. Alright, let me see if I can just find staff again. 'Cause I don't remember where it went. Shoot. What was the name of it? Maybe I'll... Okay. Well, that sucks. But for now, I'm probably just gonna keep that staff. I'll come back and do this later. I like that staff though. That is awesome. Ooh, yes, I'm gonna add you later. Gul'dan staff. That would be a good addition, right? Zoth raid. Alright. Just don't want this to be like a model viewing stream. But honestly, just showing you guys my process anyway, so. What is that? Progenitor staff. I'm Tried importing some of the progenitor items before. It just doesn't work out. Don't know why. Is that it? Oh my heck. Alright, let's see. No. Alright, I give up. I will look for this later. Alright, cool. I'll look for that later. For now, I'm just going to go ahead and use that staff that we just imported. So, let's look at the stats. So, we're going to go ahead and modify this item. Let's see first what staff item levels look like in Blackwing Lair. Honestly, I wish there was an item level calculator for stat distribution. That would make my life so much easier. But I just have to kind of do some guesswork at this point. If anyone knows of where you can get like item level calculator, that there used to be a website that did that for you, or an add-on, but the add-on doesn't work for 3.5. So, but yeah. Anyway, so let's see. So Nefarian used to drop a staff, and he does drop a staff. I'm trying to remember. Let's see. Staff of Shadow Flame, right? Yeah. So, okay. So I'm probably going to use this as base. I'm going to change some things. And we're going to make it in line with that one. So let's see. We're going to add haste to it, and I may add a gem to it. And I really hate Spirit. I think it's such a useless stat. I would love to change that eventually, but we'll see. Quality flags. We're going to make it a higher item level as well. Item level is particularly important on my server, just because the random stats that you get on gear. You know, maybe I should have just done the Staff of Shadow Flame as an import. Let's do that actually. All that. Delete that. Oh hell, I can't spell. What is that? Purple enchant. Okay. Probably an NPC item, so hero with keys. 90, 60, 92. And go ahead and date the Blazing Fury. Probably change that name too, but for now it's just a placeholder. When it's like 10 o'clock at night, it's not usually a good time for me to think. I'm so used to going to bed at like 4 a.m. though, so. Alright, let's see. So we're going to go ahead and keep most of the stats the same. I want to keep the same amount of stats in general, But if I end up adding a socket, I'm going to have to reduce the overall stats just to compensate. So, because that's how they do it in Wrath. Let's see. So it has 3 stats, 5. That's intellect, that's stamina, that's the spirit. I am going to get rid of spirit and I'm going to distribute it between the two. So 9 here and 9 here, probably. Maybe just put it as MP5 options. That's okay. All right, let's do 32 and what, 38. You. Get rid of you. We're also going to implement some. Take away the crit, which is 28. We're going to replace that with haste. And it's the first spell ID. So back in Classic, they used spell IDs rather than the stat stuff. So spell ID, that one. And I could add a unique spell effect, maybe to summon an Ember Worm for a short period of time who attacks your opponents. I don't know. That could be fun too. But I just want to get some items added to this custom bosses loot table, so that would be good to begin with. Okay, so right, haste. Gotta look at my reference sheet because it's been a while since I've actually made custom items. Let's see, Azeroth core. I'll show you what I'm doing. So stats. Okay, haste rating 36. Stat type 3, 36. And what was the crit rating on that originally? Let's look. 28. Again, I'm probably going to be reducing some of the stats on this, especially if I do put non-use effect. And a gem, but yeah. Okay, Staff Shadow Flame, you're good. Actually, I'm gonna go ahead and start reducing some of those now. So let's do 25. And you gotta think that the gems. See if I can find the gem vendor. Hold on. These are green gems. I'm actually gotta go look at them real quick as a reference. Normally you can't enter Outland until you've reached level 60 and completed next 40. We will persevere.
I haven't got all day.
So these are the gems that I actually implemented on my gem vendor. In that hidden vendor area, but let's see. So people typically want to go with spell power, so it's gonna be 5 spell power. So maybe I should not reduce it so significantly. So let's just do 27. Especially at these lower. And 10%. We'll just go with 6. And the socket bonus is another good question. Also, spell power. Let's put some spell power on there first. Where the heck is my database again? Spell power. Where you at, dog? 42. So some of these are actually superfluous now, just because Wrath got rid of healing, right? Well, no, they still have healing gear, but they combined spell power, basically. Oh, okay. And then what was the original value? Again, it was... Again, I'm just trying to make this more in line, but not overshadowing some of the things that you would already get in the game. Power 84. Okay, so I'm going to do 81. That's what I love about... So one of the things I hated about the other servers, I had to look up all these spell IDs for different spell power coefficients and things like that. I even created a couple custom ones myself for spell hit rating. But this one is just easier to do in general, so... Let's see... Okay. I'm going to do sockets now. Let's see, socket color. Trying to remember what my socket colors are. So again, we just go to our wiki page. And we're probably going to just go with yellow, because this is not an N tier. Let's just do blue. This is not an N tier raid, right? This is a, shall we say, yeah, it's an entry raid, right? So do 8. Socket content does not matter in this case, because the item I'm modifying is not a gem. And then we're going to go ahead and look for socket bonus, which looks something like, basically you just go and you look at socket staff. I don't remember that being a thing. Anyway, socket staff. If that's a thing, I'm gonna have to add that to my gem, my socket tier probably. Let's see. So all right, so what am I doing? Enhancements, statistics. And we're probably just going to go with spell power. I'm going to do 4 spell power. No, let's do 3 spell power because... well... That's 4 spell power. Let's see. Or 3, I mean. Okay, so these are the spell powers. We'll just go with 4. Let's just do 4 as a bonus. That's fine. That'll probably be a staff thing. And so if you put in a blue socket, you'll get 4 spell power. That's basically what that means. Or you could put in a red socket, which is 5 spell power. I mean, what are the options right now for blue sockets with these crappy gems?
Be quick about your business.
So stamina, spirit, or MP5. There's no intellect, which is probably fine. Nope, that's brilliant, right? I remember that. I would probably just do the MP5 personally, but that's just me. Or you could just say screw it and put in the red socket. Anyway, choices, right? These are...
Do not seek death.
This is the reason why we do things. Kind of wonky sometimes. is to give player choices. So cool. All right, so that's done. I'm gonna go ahead and I have that in my inventory already, right? Yes, I do. Okay. So again, that's the original stats. Why is that showing up differently? All right, because yes, I remember. Because yes, I copied a different item. All right. Originally. And then I ended up going with the Staff of Shadowflame. Okay, and I'm gonna go ahead and clear my cache again, because otherwise I won't see the changes. All right, where did it go? I think it disappeared just because I ended up changing. Nope, it's right here. Cool. So that's our new staff. Right, I need to add the number of stats to 4. My bad. I forget that Wrath does that. I think maybe TBC did that too. I don't remember. I haven't really modified many TBC servers. I don't know many people who have, to be honest, but I want to see what those stats have. Stabs have as stats. Let's see. So, in Fury, you've got 4 stat slots. And so it's almost as good as what you would get in BWL. Maybe it's a little bit. I mean, I feel like it's on par, personally. But it's good enough. And it depends also what you would get for the random stat drop. But yeah. So that's kind of why I like the random stats, is that they make more useless items potentially better than more useful ones. So it kind of diversifies your
got the
gearing
best deals
progression.
anywhere.
So again, that's part of the reason why I don't want to implement a whole lot of those rerolls. I want it to just be kind of like a rare thing that you do every once in a while. So yeah, that'll be a thing. Okay, so that is number 1. Now, we're going to go ahead and create a custom trinket as our second item. But first, I got to create a spell. And I've got the perfect spell. So this basically, how do I put it? Boss that I have does basically this Charred Earth ability. So I'm going to be duplicating this and making it available for players, except I'm going to, of course, nerf it to something that's a more reasonable level. So let's go ahead and make a new spell. Copy an existing record. 0148. Hit OK. I'm going to go 100149. And we got new Charred Earth, so that's that. I'm also going to add a couple other things to said spell. But I want to look at and see real quick, because I think 30 seconds is too long of a duration. So let's make this a 10-second spell. That seems a little bit more reasonable. Consecration is 8 seconds. And this will probably have a 1-minute cooldown. Let's see. And then I'm going to see how much damage it does overall first. I've updated it. So it does 6,373 damage, and I can make that a more rounded number, but that's way too much damage. Let's see what Consecration does at level 60 for a base comparison. So the other thing too is Consecration actually scales with your spell power. This might. I have to. No, it probably won't. I mean, there's bonus spell data. Let's see, what is it at? Yeah, so there's no damage multipliers really. Consecration. Let's see, 60, level 60 Consecration. So that is useless to me. But take this, and I can learn it just to give me a base. I have to actually target myself because, you know, thing. And learn that afterwards because I don't really want to go around with a level 60 Consecration. Alright, so 576 holy damage over 8 seconds, basically. So I'm just going to mess with the numbers a bit. I'm just going to fudge around with them until I get something close to what I want, but to be frank, I'm going to make the die sides 1 as well. So this die side affects if the spell damage is done in a range of spell power, like it does it. For example, maybe I don't have a good example. Paladins don't have a good example for what I'm talking about. Okay, yeah. So Exorcism, for example, does 177 to 194 damage. The die side is that that potentiality for it to do 177 or 194 or somewhere in between. But in this case, I just want it to do a consistent amount of damage, so I'm going to keep it at 1. And I'm going to go ahead and half that number. 587 though, hold on. Save that as a spell change. See what it does. So 1960 damage over 10 seconds. And this is a per tick thing. And probably the Charred Earth that I have attached to that boss is a little bit too powerful, so I'm probably going to nerf that here real quick, because otherwise people are going to freak out on me. But at the same time, people are going to have, the reason why I had it so high is I know people are going to have high fire resistances just due to the original gear having so much resistance, right? So, like for example, tier 1 mage sets have maybe not a whole lot of fire resistance, but it's enough, right? You're going to have fire resistance from other things as well. Maybe, you know, you could make the meta for that boss fight fire resistance. That could be a thing, but at the same time, okay. So I'd rather things start out too hard and then me have to adjust things later. I'm going to go ahead and nerf that just a little bit. But anyway, let's go back to the Trinket spell that I have that I'm working on. And we're going to go ahead and reduce that a little bit more to 387. Let's do that. Just see what number we have coming up. Again, we're trying to match this rank 5 consecration more or less. Probably less. But let's do this. 26. Getting close. So let me just do 41, 47. Yeah, that's good enough. I'm happy with that. Maybe a little bit higher, but I need to round this number off to something. Nine. Cool. 500 damage over. I think that's fine. It's a round number. It's not intentionally a round number. Okay, that's gonna bug me. So let's do that. Let's see. Okay, 55. Whatever. Less random or less of a round number. Still a round number, but at least it's not got 2 0 places in it. So anyway. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and export this as something that we're going to be attaching to a trinket. And I'm going to go ahead and look for a trinket model or an icon that I really like. And I'm just trying to think. Fiery molten lava. So let's just look online for some icons. Yeah, item. So flame. Let's just do some thematic stuff real quick to see what happens. Alright, I'll probably go with the living flame icon. That's fine. Since a pure flame is overused, yeah, let's just do living flame. That's fine. Copy that. Trinket. Set it to level 60. We're going to apply our spell to it. And we're going to patch in the spell. So 100149. And how many wings we've got to work with. So many. Okay, so 10049. Okay. Go to our item template. Living flame. I'm gonna have to patch in the item DBC as well, so I really hate that you have to do that in Wrath and TBC, but let's see. So living flame. Duplicate that. Give it a new ID, which is 692. It's really good to be consistent with your numbering schemes, I guess you could say. That way, if you ever need to back things up, it just makes it a lot easier to find. And let's come up with a name for this. Actually, I've got a perfect name. So Charred Ash. No, I've already got a trinket that's Ash. Corpse Ash. Let's see. So I'll come up with. Oh, I think I already had one actually. Smoldering Ashes. We'll do that. Why not? Because the boss's name is Smolder. Get it? Might also add a shield. There's so many things I just want to do. Alright. Much to do, so little time. PC, item template. Go ahead and patch the item DBC in. So, insert line 6003. I've got to copy the display ID that I put here. The only reason why I changed this display ID right now is, well, a couple reasons actually. Never mind. I won't go into that. Let's see. I'll save. Cool. And then I can export that to my MPQ. Moldering ashes. Alright, let's figure out item level, all that fun stuff. Allowable race. It's -1. I don't know what restrictions Living Flame has on it, but that's fine. Here's the amount of gold that it gives you, since what we're copying is a level 80 trinket. Not really too concerned. There's so many sources of gold right now. And then item level. That's the fun part. I think 81 is fine, because that's what we had for our staff. The problem is, you know what, I'm going to make it 78, because 81 is super close to max item level. So if you look at Max Ramus. Alright, there's no Max Ramus. Damn it. Alright, so might have been a fill. Trying to remember. Yeah, so 89, 90, 91 is basically max 40. But yeah. So we're gonna keep things a little bit lower. Again, this is only Molten Core, and this is a bonus boss that is on par with BWL. You know, with that in mind, let's just go ahead and look at what the item level is typically for 76. All right, we'll just go with we'll go with 76. And I'm just being kind of persnickety again about item level because of the stat boost module, the stat boost module that I have that adds random stats to your gear. It bases it off of item level, so that's a thing. All right, let me get rid of some of the stats here. Make sure I'm on the right one. No, I'm not on the right one. Okay, so I flipped those. It's a good thing I didn't start getting rid of crap before I was ready. So 6. Great. Got that. Let me see. Socket. Socket enchant. All right, so 37430. Probably revealing a little too much right now, but this socket enchant is one of the things that one of those unique vendors has. And again, that vendor disappears after 3 interactions or 3 purchases. So if you have a group of 40 people and you need to get them all full gem gear, it's going to take forever to do that. So I'm doing that intentionally. So let's see. Okay, so I can add a socket to trinkets. I don't want to add a socket then to that, because if I do that, it will become way too powerful of an item for its item level. Which again, I can just always fix by adding more sockets to other pieces of gear in Classic. That's fine. But yeah. Spell cooldown, don't care about any of that. I'm just getting rid of everything here. And then our new spell, which is zero 149. It's fine. I could give it a spell category. Let's see, actually. Scourge Dust. We'll give it the same spell category as Scourge Dust, because that's the Trinket spell category for on-use items. And I just want to make sure that you can't just use one item after the other. So we're going to go ahead and do 60,000. So spell category cooldown. And we'll just do 10 seconds, even though back to back those two, if you had both. This Scourge trinket right here is a death and decay with fear attached to it. Anyway, 10,000, which is 10 seconds. Then, okay, this is what happens when I don't keep track of stuff. Oh my god! Hold on. What did I just delete? Blazing Fury. But didn't I? I don't care about those stats. Those spell IDs. Okay, whatever. Right. One again. 0. 60,000, which is a minute. So you can use this trinket every minute. I'm going to add some additional stats for it. Probably could be a tanking trinket, since there's not really any good tanking trinkets at this level. Honestly, there's not very good tanking trinkets at all during the vanilla life cycle, I would say, except for maybe Nax. So category cooldown 10,000, and there we have our new spell. Oh, I should probably add a spell description for what this does. Oh, okay, we already have it. So charge the ground, setting it aflame. That's good. So 156 fire damage every 3 seconds. And let me unlearn that stupid consecration. I'll unlearn it later. Anyway, let's see. So... okay, so I'm good with that. Add some armor penetration. Why not? Because armor penetration at level 60 is kind of fun. And we'll do some stamina as well. Potentially. Hold on. We're going to do armor penetration expertise. Let me think about it. 2 stats. I want to do. I just don't want it to overshadow every single trinket. Drake Fang, let's see, Drake Fang Talisman. I think that one is off Chromagus, isn't it? No, hold on. DFT. Okay. I think to be kind of in line with DFT is sort of more or less the goal here, right? So I'm just kind of looking at the stats. I've got non-use effect for the trinket that we have, so that's a thing. So let's go ahead and add 2 stats. Originally intended. Expertise and armor pen are probably decent. This is probably not a trinket that you would use normally, but if you're a tank and you need more expertise, why not? Let me see. Where's my wiki page? There. Let's do template. Cool. And we're gonna do stats. We're looking at stats because I can't ever remember every single stat. Alright, so let's do expertise. Where are you? 37. Stat type 1, 37. Stat type 2 is going to be armor pen. It's 44. Please tell me that I am doing the right one. Okay, good. Oh, I need to make this 60 requirement, otherwise. Whatever. Alright, so let's modify that. Let's see. Let's look at our Drake Fang Talisman again. We got 56, 20, and 12. And attack power is a primary stat, so naturally that's going to be a higher stat. Secondary stats like hit rating, dodge, armor pen tend to actually be a lot lower than things like strength, attack power, etc. So what I'm going to do, if I stick with the 20 and 12, but since it's got a non-use effect, I'm going to nerf that a little bit. So let's do 18 and 11. Or something, some combination of those two that adds up to those two numbers. Anyway. Okay, so first stat was expertise. Second stat was armor penetration. You know, and I'm actually okay with that as a distribution of stats. Do I want to add attack power to it? Probably not. I could... Yeah, I'm good with just the two stats and the on-use effect. Alright, cool. So now that I have those two things, I'm going to go ahead and add them to a loot table for said boss. Obviously I've got more items that I'm going to add, but I figured it might be good to show you guys how to do that because someone might be interested in that. So I've got my 6092 and my 6093, and I'm going to go ahead and see. So my smoldering boss, which is his name is Smolder. Let's see, creature template is ID 3001, and he does not have the loot template ID yet, but I will set it as the same number as his creature template, just so I can remember it easily. Nope. Dyslexia, man. Hold on. 3001. Alright, cool. Now we're going to go into the creature loot template to add this to the table. Yeah, there you're at. So we're going to create a new entry. And so each core is a little bit different in terms of how they handle group IDs. Some of them, if you just put the item here and you don't put a percentage, you put another item here and you don't put a percentage, one of those items will drop, right? I gotta double check the Wikipedia for this one though, so let's see. Okay, so entry 8001, and we're gonna go ahead and put a note for this one, and I've got two items so far, so we're just gonna go ahead and do that. So sorry, don't mean to be 6092, 6093. Gonna zero out the chance for now until we can figure out how that works. Hey, how's it going, Zycopex? Or however you say your name, dude. It's good to see you. You're an inspiration, good sir. Alright, let's see. So, Smolder. Smolder. And Smolder. And I could label these better, but I don't care. So, just do those two. Alright, so let me look at the database again. Or yet. Item loot template. Ugh. Okay, let me just look. I'm just going to read this. Let's see. A random number is rolled in a range of 0 to 100. This is a lot more complicated than what I'm used to, so let me just make sure. Loot mode, normal mode, hard mode. Okay, that's a little bit different. Item entry. Quest required, nope. I think 0 would be... Alright, I'm just going to have to go through everything. So reference, I don't care about. So, quest drop. Where the item should be shown to characters. I'm going to assume that 0 means that there is no requirement for quest. Loot mode. Loot mode is a question. Normal mode. Disable loot entry. Bit mask. Alright, now I gotta go look at loot modes for Ragnaros to make sure that I'm giving it the right loot mode. But let me look at group ID real quick. So group ID set 0 chance and equal chance. You know, I'm just gonna set it as 50-50 for now, just to be safe. I don't really care if the database has to look that up. But let's go ahead and do group ID 1. We're going to go ahead and do a 50-50 chance. That is like the easiest way to make sure that your piece of gear drops each time. So these are basically on the same loot table. And then I'm going to add other equipment. So let's see. There is that. The stat reroller. What the heck is that name? The name for the stat reroller again. So look up item. Why couldn't they have just... I'm just going to rename that, man. That's so frustrating that it's named something stupid. No offense if you're the one who created it, but let's see. 641605 is the item template. So, okay, so for example, if I wanted this stat reroll item to drop every time, then actually, is this a BOP? Hold on. Add item, whatever, same thing, right? Add item. All right, so this is a BOP, and it's not a unique item. So if I put min count, max count, basically it's going to let you roll for all 3 at once, or none at all. Because that's just the way it works. If it was a unique item, then they would all 3 roll separately. I think that's how it is. That's how it was in Classic. Man, it's hard to keep cores straight sometimes. Anyway, that's what I'm gonna do. So 41 on 605. This is going to have a 100% chance to drop, and I'm going to put it on a different group ID. Make sure that nothing ever adds up to more than 100% on these group IDs. Otherwise, the server will yell at you and not function correctly. So, cool. All right, so we have 3 items so far. So I got a staff. I've got a trinket. I'm going to look at the trinket real quick. I'm going to restart the server. Sorry, I like looking at some of the random stuff in Kyle's repack. Or not repack, but his HD pack or whatever. So server shut down one. I wish he'd come back to the community. I know he's probably taking a break, but he created some really awesome stuff. Not gonna lie. Alright, so exit out of that. I've got to import my item DBC. Opening up Linux MPQ editor, I'm going to go to our WoW data folder. I'm going to go ahead and open up the patch Y, which is my custom MPQ. You guys want to see something cool? Okay, so let's see, creature data. So these are all going to be custom mounts that I make eventually. Maybe not the Quillian. I think that thing's ugly. Ravenlord, maybe not. Anyway, there's a couple, quite a number of mounts that I'll be adding as unique mounts. Thanks, man. I love the various Legion Ashbringers. They're so cool. Yeah, I just the lightning one is probably one of my favorites too. So, and I'll probably add the different versions of Ashbringer in my Ashbringer quest line. But that's way far down the road. I mean, not way that way far, but anyway. So, yeah, we're going to be adding quite a number of mounts to the game as well. Anyway, so let me turn that off. Let me just go ahead and before I get sidetracked, add the item DBC. I have you been. I don't know what I just did. Okay, that's fine. Do you have a favorite looking weapon, Lex? I'm going to be importing some more custom weapons as well, or just backported weapons. So let's see. And there's so many that I can just play with. I don't know if I like that replacing Benedict and yeah. Anyway, so okay, we're gonna start our server again. Make sure that the item I made has the correct stats on it. Always good to double check your work, otherwise you end up with something that you have no idea what you did. Okay, so smolder. Item smoldering ash. Alright, so increases expertise. Oh, right. You know what I didn't do? I didn't import my spell DBC. Okay. There's always something that you forget. This is why we double check. And I just want to make sure that the display ID is correct and functioning properly. So let's just add the item 60093. Cool. Happy with that. OP, right? Okay, good. Yeah, Warlock. Tank, shield, and mace. You know, the shield for... Yeah, so the nice thing about Lock and Paladin artifact weapons is that they don't have like dangly bits. The problem with backporting stuff like the one-handed mace for prot warriors is that it ends up just being static because none of the weapon models for the what do you call it, the skeleton of the weapon models in Wrath of the Lich King have like flowy bits, right? I mean, you can say that tabards have flowy bits, but they really don't. That's just a part of your creature. It gets complicated. But anyway, so yeah, I'm planning on doing more artifact weapon appearances. But I love the Mage Tower, man. Brawler's Pub, which was, you know, basically the Mage Tower before that, I'm going to be importing into this, and I think it'll be a fun experience. So, yes. Anyway, I did like Felon Malorn too, the mage artifact weapon. Okay, so I've got to exit out again. Except this time I don't need to exit out completely because I already have this. No, I don't. Just kidding. I gotta exit out completely. So I already exported that. Let me make sure that I have it in my DBC for my server, which I do now, and then I'm going to go ahead and import it to my client. Delete the cache, go to data, patch Y, DB files client, spell DBC, export, or import rather. Did I? Yeah, whatever. We'll figure it out. So I want to replace that, exit out. Start up the server. Startup, wow. Yeah, I really loved Legion. I think Legion was one of the best expansions, to be honest. It's really up there for me with Wrath of the Lich King and Vanilla. I know some people had their issues with it, but the implementation of Mythic Plus was so fun. I am good with repeat content over and over again. I find it fun. I also liked the Warforging aspect. If I could actually figure out how to make Warforging happen on this server, I would probably implement it. And people would probably hate me for it. So the closest thing I get instead is the random stat boost. So, or random stat enchant. Okay, so let's see. Awesome. So we have it working. Tries the ground, Sing of Flame. And I'm just going to go ahead and cast the spell just because I want to see what it does. And I want to make sure it works. So where are you at? 100149. I'm going to go kill something with it. Let's kill something with it. Yeah, I just feel like thematically Legion was really good. And it had some of the best boss fights too. Except I really didn't like Argus. Fighting Argus was a pain in the ass. But the iteration for Fury Warrior, super fun. Super fun. I could get the attack style animations from melee characters from Legion. Casters even. That'd be so cool. I don't know how to do some of that stuff with skeletons and how much, you know, core modification that takes or whatever. Yeah, with Legion being one of my favorites, I have no problem with updated graphics, basically. I really do like a lot of the newer art in the game. Alright, let me find something probably closer to my level. And that would be not in Stormwind, probably. Let's just go to Red Ridge. I don't know the Horde areas as much, guys. The only time I really leveled Horde was... Well, I didn't really level Horde, because I'd always start out as Alliance, and then faction change to Horde later. So that's... I want to make sure my guys are still here. Yep, okay, cool. Custom Scourge Event still working fine for over here. Event stop 17. These guys are still below my level, but actually my NPC bots are going to teleport in 2 seconds now that I turned off my GM command. I don't want them interfering with my tests. You guys stay behind. And 100149. Okay. So just cast. Oh my hell. Might add a secondary effect to the Chart Earth, but So it has a cast timer to it, which is fine. I'm okay with that because it's more like the boss's Charred Earth. So cool. All right, I'm happy with that. And I need to unlearn rank whatever. That's great. Ugh. Otherwise I'll forget. Consecration. Unlearn wherever rank 5 is. It was in the 20s. So yes, there we go. Yeah, so by the time I ever like quested with Horde, it was after Cataclysm, right? And things changed drastically after that. And also, I mean, it was a lot faster. So most of the time on the modern game or whatever, you'd just level up through Dungeon Finder. So didn't do much questing that way. So anyway, let's go back to Molten Core and check things out. And I want to make sure, because I want to make sure that our boss has the proper loot table. Yeah, I feel like Vanilla, Alliance, every other expansion, Horde. I don't know. Maybe TBC. Somewhere in between. Let's see. Alright, so I've got Smolder doing his patrol. And he stands there for 30 seconds just to give players an opportunity to position him in a better location. But he'll patrol all along this outer perimeter. Alright, so I'm gonna do... You guys get a sneak peek. Cheat. Let's see, GM. Off. And again, I'm gonna be adding some custom voice acting to this NPC as well. And let's just do... Alright, cool. So our items dropped. Had a 50-50 chance to get the other item. And we got the attribute recalibrator. I hate the name for that. So I'm gonna go ahead and change that. Let's see. Yeah, Horde and Wrath. PvC, vanilla. Yeah. And if you're a hardcore PvPer, I think you went Horde in TBC, maybe, but yeah. Item, what am I looking for? Item template. Attribute recalibrator. What are we gonna call it? Attribute reroller? Stat boost reroller? Stat reroller? Yeah, something reroller. Yeah. I don't know, man. I understand why they had such a hard time naming this now. Let's see. Idea, stat reroller, whatever. That's basically what I'll keep it as for now. Maybe I'll make something that's a little bit lore friendly and less game breaking. I mean, not lore friendly, but you know what I mean. Less immersion. Cool. All right, so I'm just gonna go ahead and respawn. I'm gonna kill you again. And 1,000. Okay, I just want to make sure that everything's working. Oh my heck, okay. GM. Fly on. Ugh. Okay, cool. 50-50. I got both items. So. Alright, I'll really show you guys some of the fight. Hold on. Obviously I'm gonna die pretty quickly. Well, my bots are gonna die quickly. GM off. But I'll portal, so that's the thing. Need to change my modifiers. Scales upon combat. Are my bots gonna teleport to me? Maybe I'm not in raid. So, does the Charred Earth? It's actually really close in damage to what you get from Nightbane at level 7. So you're gonna have to reposition. He has a frontal fire breath. He will scorch the main tank and cast Pyroblast on a random party member. He also does an ability Fear on occasion, which makes the Charred Earth a pain in the butt. And then at 1 minute into the fight, get there. Yeah, there you go. So he starts to summon Flame Walkers, Lava Spawns. You want to kill immediately, otherwise they grow out of control. So yeah, that's the thing. I mean, that's most of the fight. I'm probably gonna add an enrage mechanic to him, but pretty straightforward though. Very fun. I like positioning fights, but yes. My speed 5. Here, I'll show you guys some other things that I've got going on. Guess you could just go faster. Go. So, I liked what they did in Season of Mastery with creating new abilities for bosses. So I did take some inspiration from that. Tennis now has 2 additional Flame Walkers and a Priest. He also has a new ability, I think, Shadow Bolt Volley. Let me look at my change log. It's hard to keep track sometimes, man. This is why I have a change log, is so that I don't have to remember stuff. Yeah, so periodically cast Shadow Bolt Volley. Health increase significantly, 2 additional Flame Walker. So Lufthron, again, 2 new priests, 2 Flame Walker with his Flame Walker protectors, and I think he has another ability, another Flame Strike on a random raid member. Yeah. So just making things a little bit more interesting, making people move around. Have to do more. Again, patrols, 2 priests, 2 protectors, Lufthron. Magmadar is pretty much the same as Season of Mastery. He will summon 2 core hounds periodically that you have to kill at the same time. So and let's see, what else did I add? Alright, so with Gar, I added a second boss, Magmakin. He's got half the health of Gar, basically. He has his own abilities. Let me show you guys his script real quick. Let's see, custom content. So, casts Flame Buffet on everyone. And he casts Magma Blast on a random target, so you want to make sure that you're protected for that. And he also casts Lava Burst on his primary target. Yeah, I mean, that's not anything major, but it definitely makes the fight a lot more interesting. And Shazra now also has a second boss. I'll show you guys just what he does, but I have to kill some of these things around me. That was really kill everything. Because I'm level 30. And alright, so gem off. So he will cast Arcane Blast. Basically Arcane Missile on a random target. Let's see, I'm trying to remember. Wow, that was ugly. So he also does, yeah, so Arcane Barrage, he does a chain burn, which is basically bad for your healers because of laser mana. He also does a Crystal Flash, which is a frontal stun. And then after a certain amount of time, he will begin to evocate, which increases damage done against him by yeah, so after a minute 30 he evocates and then does increase damage against him. He actually has more health than Shazra. And that's intentional, so yeah. Jam off. Just want to make sure that he's actually going to be evocating. Yeah, see, evocates. And I'm probably gonna be messing around with his mana pool too throughout the fight, because otherwise you're like, why is he evocating? Alright, and since you guys are watching this, you get to see the secret. Which I'm just gonna kill you guys so I can do this legit. Oh, Bergengeddon. He... I'll show you guys in a sec. Alright. Oh no, what am I entering combat with? Come on. Go away. Whatever. So I put these little platforms here in the lava, which obviously you could just probably swim over to this platform. And this is where I've hidden the vendors for gems and socketing. So this chest right here has lava core and fiery cores because that's the required components to actually purchase things from these vendors. So let me show you. So 10 fiery cores per socket. So fiery core. Add item 170110. Actually, let's make it 30. Because I want to show you guys something else. Fiery. 720. Cool. So, yes.
Be careful.
And then I get the socket enchant, right? So socket's a piece of gear. Ta-da.
Ishnu Allah.
only socket it once. And then you interact it with her again. You can get another one. So in a group of 40 people.
Of the highest quality. Del Nadris.
Thanks a bunch. See you next week. She respawns after that. So you can only get 3 a week.
Who you be?
And then the gems require 3 lava cores right now. Do they? I thought I increased that. Hold on. Ah, my heck. This is why I do things on stream, guys. Some content. Socketeer. Gem vendor. Yep. 3. Whatever. 3 is fine. I don't care. They're just gems anyway. So you have the option for red gems. These are the really crappy gems again. Blue gems.
Spirits be with you.
And yellow gems. And I don't have a limitation on these. Like she'll stay there even after 3 interactions. But yeah, it's really the Socketeer lady who is the
bye bye now.
What do you call it?
What brings you
the thing that prevents you from getting too much power creep too quickly. Whatever. But yeah. So, and the nice thing is that the Socket enchant actually does work with your stat boost, so you'll actually keep both, right? 14 Critical Strike and the Socket enchant. Oh, yeah. Obviously, I haven't actually put any gems in there because I don't want to be overpowered. That won't show up, by the way, if you're not in GM mode, so it'll just look like she despawned. Then I have the reagent vendor here.
Good day to you.
Just in case someone forgot their lava cores or their fiery cores and they want to make a purchase. This is an account-wide reagent vendor, so anything you have on another character you can access from this vendor.
Hello.
Transmogrifier, because there is a chance for certain visual items to be in this chest here. So I figured people could just change it there. This is just kind of like a resting point for the raid. I don't know how you'd fit 40 people onto this platform. It'd be kind of cramped, but you know. And then yeah, so Baron Geddon has a new mechanic. Yeah, let me just have a die macro, so let me just do that. Ugh. Alright, Baron. GM off. Don't run away. Ah, okay. He'll come back. I can just go to him. I don't care. I just want to show you the mechanics, that's all. Die. Alright. So, in Season Mastery, Lava, what it's called, Living Bomb actually gets casted on 3 targets now. But in my version, it summons an elemental Firewalker. So every time you explode, you got a new Firewalker to deal with. So kind of a DPS check, so you don't want to end up with too many. But I think the Firewalker is also just for a period of time. I gotta check what the duration is on this. Some of this stuff is pending balance changes, but bounce feedback rather. Okay. I did make Holy Leap cost mana. What? I thought I made it free. Shamans are lucky that way because their Gust of Wind is free cast. Okay, so Golemag. What did I do to Golemag? Golemag was a pain in the... He was really kind of challenging to script out. Part of the reason why is because anytime you add a Lua for a boss that exists, it gets rid of the C++ code. So you have to replicate the boss perfectly. And I had a hard time getting the core ragers to die. so yeah, that's the thing. So he's basically like the Season of Mastery Golemag, where except he'll cast Pyroblast on a random raid member, so that's new. But he'll also cast Earthquake periodically throughout the fight, and the dogs will have what is it called? The Golemag's Trust permanently. So yeah, I'll show you. GM. Some of these spells will probably end up changing. Sometimes when I'm scripting things all at once, I end up using the same spells for like 2 different bosses or using the same kind of mechanics. So I end up changing things when I actually am not doing things the same day. It's fresh. Make sure to stay casting Earthquake, but I don't know if there's a visual. Anyway, so damage. So if I kill him, his core rangers also die. I don't want to be exalted. I'm not trying to be exalted with the Hydraxian Water Lords yet, but whatever. GM on. Ragnaros, I basically just increased his health, and his abilities have a chance to summon an additional Son of Flame. Pretty straightforward. Let's see. But you can see that there's kind of like a trend here. Bosses have a chance to summon additional units, or they cast an additional spell, something, right? Or they have a second boss. I thought I added to Soulfront Harbinger because I thought I added something else to him. Other than, right, no. So Flame Spear just summons flame imps, basically. So I'm probably gonna get more complicated with some of the boss fights because I really liked certain boss fights in vanilla, like Syrian in AQ20, where you had to go around and click items to be able to actually do any damage to the boss. So having things that are a little bit more complex that way would be good. It's just a matter of finding and figuring out the right hooks and whatnot, and working with game objects so that they do what you want them to do. But that kind of stuff takes a long time, and I like things that take a long time, but I also want to do more content. And so typically how I work in terms of progression and making new content is I'll create something new, and then I'll come back and reiterate on it, and I reiterate and reiterate and reiterate. So Stormwind, the Scourge Invasion, has changed significantly since my first upload of the event, because I've just kept reiterating on it. So yeah, but that's Molten Core. It's basically the same boss fights, just harder, and with new mechanics. So, yeah, that's kind of what my motto is for this server: is the same game you know and love, but with new twists and new hidden things and stuff like that. So let's go to Stormwind. I'm going to switch to my what do you call them? Shaman real quick. Maybe someone will be interested in looking at the new Stormwind invasion. I'm going to go ahead and start on the Orgrimmar event. I'm trying to figure out what boss I want to use. I'm probably going to use Nubricon or I don't know. I'll figure it out. So, event start 17th. This happens on a daily basis for 2 hours each day. And you can start and stop it manually if you want. Not a big deal. I may end up adding an NPC that allows you to just start and stop it for people who want to do that. We've got priests out here again.
You need something? Light be with you.
I don't know if I got Lightwell to properly work, but I fixed Lightwell, actually.
Need help?
So that it casts in front of you and not just on top of your character.
Hello.
So, you're welcome. You get some food from the mage.
Hello.
I might add different level food as well. And then you get buffs. You get the blessing from the Herald of War. All stats increased by 20%, damage taken reduced by 35. And you cannot take that into raids, by the way.
What brings you here?
I may change that, and it might be configurable. And then, of course, you have Paladin. It's hard for me to show you the event without preloading all my grids, because I have Scourge in the back coming in from the Stormwind Harbor. Oh, I'm glad. That's good. I'm glad that someone found my channel because of that. That's so good. Yeah, so because there's not other players in the game and it's just me, things don't load until you actually see them, right? So I've got Flesh Flayer ghouls spread out throughout the town, and that's to harass lower level characters who are doing certain quests. But I've also created guards throughout the town as well for players to run to. Blistering Zombies also cast Army of the Dead now. So that's kind of fun. So many freaking bells. Alright. I'm adding, so Flame Shockers, which were part of the original Scourge event, you can actually kill those for the currency as well. I don't know why I created a new currency, guys. I really have no idea. Because there was a perfectly good currency already. Well, why the hell not, I guess. It's okay. Yeah. Brother Kristoff is dead. Oh no. Yeah, so you have the Creep Stalkers patrol through the city as well. And they come up from the Stormwind side of things, or the harbor side of things. I have two types of NPCs. Citizens, basically. So I have citizens who will fight and say something heroic, and then I have citizens who will just run away in fear anytime they enter combat. So, let me show you.
Drown in shadow!
And I added some custom voiceovers for Archbishop Benedictus. Yeah, so Bishop Farthing, he went into a fear emote, and yeah, let's see, respawn. Let's see if I can show you again. I think Denthorian actually attacks things, so let's see. And they cycle through different dialogue. so they won't say the same thing over and over again. The NPCs, or the citizens at least. That's fun. Oh no, the orphan matron died. Alright. This mount has a 100% increased speed during swing, by the way. I don't know how I'm going to make it accessible, but I will make it accessible. Let's see. So as you can see, all the guards are dead. And these guys will patrol. Well, some of them patrol, some of them just wander randomly. But most of the creep stalkers will go ahead and patrol properly. So, got that. There's also more of the creep stalkers over by the lighthouse, and they'll come through the water up to the harbor, all the way to the city. Bolvar has custom abilities now. Yeah, I mean, I've just tried to make NPCs more interesting, to be honest, so that's that. It's a bull stalker. Probably attached to some sort of quest, I don't know. Then over, ooh, yes, let me show you the lady in the park. So there's this NPC that just wanders the park, the Druid Park, and I always thought she was super cool. She has a blue shirt that's actually not accessible to players, and she's a hunter, and she serves absolutely no purpose. She doesn't have a quest. I'm probably gonna attach a quest to her or something later, but I also gave her some abilities to act more like a hunter. So let's see. She'll summon a bear. She'll have random dialogue again. It's your script working? Yes, it is. Okay. She'll trap him and she'll shoot him. But she's somewhere between like survival hunter from the main game and just a normal hunter. So let's see. She's not like significantly overpowered, but if the horde, you know, the horde would have some problems with her, but she's only got like 32,000 health, so not a big deal. What else? Yes, the pallid horrors have pallid horrors attacking the Stormwind Keep. I'll show you guys the vendor again, but I'm gonna have the vendor thing on my other channel too, so it's or my other video, so I won't show that off again. But oh my heck, let's see. So again, checkpoints with guards. Anywhere you see a heavy amount of guards, it's because that's where most of the Scourge come. So you got the pallid horrors, and if you kill them, they will drop the necrotic crystals that you can interact with, get a quest, and you can get some buff items from them, just like in the old day. So. So Bolvar.
Greetings.
Is actually useful
King's
now.
honor, friend.
And he gives those buffs at any time now. I don't know why I added that. I just like adding little things here and there. Little surprises. I think it's fun. Let's see. So quests. Okay. I thought you were neutral. So those are supposed to be neutral. So they're not. Those are not supposed to attack players They're supposed to be elective. But I'll fix that later, I guess. Maybe my NPC bots decided to start attacking, I don't know. So yeah, these act actually as a director of sorts. So if you try to interact with them, they'll tell you, you know, these aren't responding to anything. Maybe you should go talk to Archbishop for help, because he has the Scourge Event quests here in Stormwind. You get a Scourge quest from Marilis, which asks you to set 6 traps against the Scourge here in... yeah. And these don't work, I mean, they work in other zones, but they only last 10 minutes, and they don't count towards the quest if you go to other zones. But place them wherever you want. Got a Frost Trap. And they got a little bit of cooldown, just to incentivize you moving around and placing them in different places. These actually last like 5 minutes or so. And you can put them at the entrance if you want. Patchwork hasn't activated because I haven't gotten close to him yet. This is something I wish could be resolved more easily, other than preloading your grids, but that's the only solution there is. Traps while in combat, so you gotta be careful. That's to help mitigate people from actually using them in raid scenarios or whatever. But yeah, so trap. I added a few more waves. I also added some Stormwind archers as well, but I ended up removing some of them because they're kind of overpowered. Turn down the sound a little bit. So yeah, slow trap. Place a slow trap in front of you. High explosive landmine. Frost trap. And you only get 2 of each, right? So... oh, stun trap too. So if people run over that trap, they'll get stunned. The Scourge runs over it rather. I just need to place one more trap. And ta-da! Eventually the Scourge will get through. It's just a matter of time. But also... Patchwork is coming anyway. He has an Enrage whenever he's above 95% health. That's just so that he makes it to Stormwind. Again, I don't really care too much if people actually end up being able to kill him before he reaches Stormwind, because good on you if you manage that. He's got a crap ton of health, 8.8 million, which is like level 80 boss status. But of course his health doesn't regenerate. So, and I don't have any loot attached to him yet. I'll probably add a quest drop or something of that nature where you can get an upgrade or something. But these are just all things in the work, right? What I'll probably end up doing is having him drop something upon death, because that's a lot easier to give kill credit for. And then of course you hear the Lich King periodically as well. I want these guys to run through these stupid traps, man. They last so long. Let's see. Need to put you guys in a party. Obviously, your hit rating is going to affect how effective your traps are. I'm going to mess with flags, though, to make sure that they can't miss. So, I've been meaning to do that, I just forget. And you have the Max Ramus floating in the sky. Bots are taking forever to respawn. So, for those of you who don't know, I think the modern game actually has plaques that you can read, but it talks about, oh, I guess you could read range, I guess you could read that one, but there you go. And you got Khadgar, which I'll probably add to the Scourge Event at some point, Wildhammer, Whirlbane, and Terralion, which former lieutenant of the Lord Anduin Lothar, Knight of the Silver Hand, high general of the Alliance expedition that marched into the Orc homeworld of the Draenor, presumed deceased. So once Patchwork mops up these guys, he'll reach a certain waypoint and he'll activate the event. Oh, I also got the Argent Dawn quests to go kill low-level Scourge outside the city, so you can do that. I've gone ahead and placed those Scourge outside the city as well.
Forward! We end this beast here and now!
Terralion appears,
for home, for family.
and he kills everything around him.
Perfect timing, as always.
Then more Scourge come in, of course, but
You will not be fighting alone, Terralion.
and these guards come out when he says defenders forward.
Swift. Something is pulling us
listening.
back.
And then he'll engage. I need to work on the timer probably, but not too worried about it. It gives players a moment to just rest.
So predictable.
And I gave Terralion a lot of threat and reduced her threat significantly. I have her disengage once just to stay at ranged. Just feels more appropriate. Basically, their job is to whittle him down to 90%. Players use this as an opportunity to go ahead and attack him. Probably. I need a. Hold on. They might die a lot, just because of the enrage. But this is a good opportunity to attack as well. And if this was a populated server, you know, you'd have lots of people attacking him. But now he's below 95% health, he won't enrage again once he resets his position. And again, Terralion, he casts a zone-wide buff when he is summoned. And it's basically just increasing your stat for 2 hours. And they'll disappear after 90 seconds, like she already disappeared, and he'll disappear in 2 seconds. Awesome. So quests. Sorry, more quests. Let's talk about those. And I'll turn in this one.
Need something? Safe travels.
not get experience for that. Let's see, XP 1. It's probably because I had my experience turned to 0.01. Alright, like I said, most of the other quests are at the Cathedral of Light. I kind of figured that the Cathedral makes sense in terms of like wanting to give out quests during the Scourge invasion. Undead, holy, you know, that kind of thing. I know Archbishop Benedictus is actually an antagonist. Ends up being betraying the Alliance, but we're not at that stage yet. It's not Cataclysm.
What
So
can I do for you today?
he offers 2 quests. He's going to offer a third, which is to go kill a certain amount of Scourge, basically. And the reason for that quest is to get people to go out to the front of Stormwind and start the patchwork event. So let's see. Plus, you have to have an obligatory go kill this quest. Bolstering our forces, you know, use a ribbon on 10 Stormwind guards during the ongoing Scourge attack. And, no. Current Scourge attack on Stormwind has left our forces drained and in dire need of morale boost. As a champion of light, you have been tasked with aiding our cause by bolstering the remaining troops. Is your quest item.
Enemies will fall. To the cathedral.
Calming the chaos. The city of Stormwind is in grave danger. Scourge is invaded, and our citizens are in a state of panic terror. Every moment counts. I need you to gather 8 soothing spices and bring them to herbalist Tanya as quickly as possible. And so, soothing spices have been reintroduced to the game, by the way. So that is not a problem. And I'll take my GM off just so you can see how easy or difficult it is to navigate through. Pretty difficult, period. Yeah, so had I not been with my NPC bots, I probably would have died there. I may still end up dying. Look at that. Yeah. I promise that you can actually make it through the city. Be careful. I've set up patrols in a manner that allows you to do so. But of course I have more difficult areas than others, and so more difficult areas are places where I don't want you to go, and the more open areas are obviously places I want you to go. So I gotta go get some soothing spices. If you these are all dailies, by the way, so you can repeat these quests as much as you want. I know that there is a Scourge somewhere here. Alright, let's see. So, trade supplies.
I buy and trade.
Soothing spices.
Light bless you.
So now we gotta go to the alchemist, the herbalist rather, Tanissa, to get the remedy to calm the Stormwind citizens so that they can actually go somewhere safer. I will always opt to not do escort quests if I can help it.
Ishnu Allah.
I may create them in the future. They're just a huge pain in the ass. So you get a Lich Rune, powerful soothing remedy. Possible that you don't get experience for the second go around, even just the first go around. And it's okay if you don't get experience, that's fine. I'll have to double check things though, because I want to make sure that they're actually getting experience. Anyway, okay, so I got the powerful soothing remedies, which means I can actually interact with the Stormwind citizens now. Keep in mind I'm level 28, so yeah, so good. They're optional. Interact with them. get them to calm down. Takes away one of the soothing spice or soothing remedies. And they do spawn afterwards. Sometimes there is a ghoul over here. So for lower level players, the tactic is basically going to be to aggro mobs to guards. And PC bots are stupid right now. I could set them to passive, but... Oh no. Help me! Okay. Pretend I have an Ankh. Eventually I'm going to put some surprises into the canals. Just FYI. And yeah, so citizens are not just outside, they're also inside, hiding in places. I'm going to add probably some more dialogue for them to cycle through, but... Basically, how the script works for the quest is you're actually killing the Stormwind citizens, so you're not really helping them, but that's how you get kill credit. Of course, I moved them around to be in more sensible locations. Obviously, if they're out in the open, they're just going to get attacked. But they're not attackable anyway, so... Cool, got that quest done. The other quest was to bolster our forces.
Greetings.
And... probably add a healing component to this spell, by the way. But use them on any Stormwind guard. Alright, what are you stuck on? I need to fix that.
Well met. Need help?
Pay attention to...
I am listening.
Occasionally get stuck. I gotta figure that out. Let's see. I'm just gonna move you. Maybe that'll help. Had to move some of these NPCs repeatedly, but this is the only place he gets stuck, so.
How are you?
Maybe over a little bit more here too.
Hello.
I've had them set to not move. Maybe I'll switch that so that they actually do move. That'll relieve some of the problem. But as casters, I'd rather have them rooted to one spot personally. So.
Well met. How are you?
Oh, maybe that didn't work. I just don't want to have to keep actually moving them. Eventually he will kill them. Let's just see what happens. It's that bot, or that NPC. Bot.
What brings you here?
Alright, let's see. Yeah, piranhas and sharks in the canal would be fun. I did that on the other server. Alright. Let's...
Hey there.
Rather than remove NPCs, I'm just gonna have them... Yeah, I was stuck on that one. I'm just gonna have them move. Because if they move to him, then he won't get stuck. So you can see his health is still at 90%. What was I doing? Oh yeah, empowering.
Need help? King's armor.
Just 3 more. On some fighting guards as well. And yeah, now I can turn in that quest. I'll show you Westfall too. Because again, I want to add something to every zone. Maybe, well, maybe not every zone, that's kind of ambitious, but something for most zones, I guess, for the Scourge event, because I want there to be a very heavy presence of the Lich King. I want there to be a constant reminder of who you're actually fighting.
You are welcome here. Be at peace.
Awesome. Cool.
Welcome.
And I can purchase stuff if I want to. Looks like I have enough for this trinket now. Yeah, so Scourge Dust, I need to make that more expensive. I thought I did that already, maybe not. I probably just didn't put it in my MPQ patch. Okay. Yeah, that one I definitely made a lot of these more expensive, so yeah, I'll fix it later. Yeah, something. Right, yeah, I didn't put it in my MPQ patch. Never mind. I can't purchase anything yet. But yeah, so the cost of things is actually pretty significant. And that's just because you have so many opportunities to actually do things for runes. Got the Full Reaper. You'll attach a quest to him as well. But one of the funny things about the Scourge Event in Westfall is the amount of horde that just show up. Or not horde, sorry, Scourge. So you get a lot of ghouls that show up, basically kill everything. So if you're out here questing, you are forced to interact with them. And they do not have an insignificant amount of health. So it's good to group up with friends and PC bots or whatever. Whatever you'll end up having on your particular server. Let's see. Yep. Clearing out the Defias. All in a good day's work, right? And I do have a quest here already. Obviously some of the lower level quests are gonna be pretty simple. I'll diversify things and make some more complicated quests as well, but yeah, so here's
King's honor, friend.
Battle for Westfall.
Light bless you.
Some ghouls, 25 ghouls. And there is a rare trolling Westfall, which which I might have shown off already. Rare undead. And I'll have a drop turn in for him as well, or quest or something. It's here somewhere. There he is. Way up there. Got 3 attached ghouls that patrol. Again, he just attacks everything in sight, so... Working on Orgrimmar this week and some of the horde areas. Mostly I'm just focused on placement of creatures at the moment and objects that they have for quests. And then I'll add the actual quests in later. That's just part of the development cycle of it. So the Stormwind event has taken up a ton of my time, and okay with that. Part of that is just because, you know, I want to make sure things are done right. I want to make sure things are interesting. I want it to be boring. Make sure that the incentives for doing things is also good. And I like things to be scripted, so... yeah, having things interact with other things is always good. It's just more immersive that way. Go ahead and see if I actually can fix the extended item cost real quick. For anyone who's curious, if you want to create your own currency in the game, you usually do that through the item extended currency, DBC. Right. Actually open up my MPQ first. Duh. Extended cost. Actually want to make sure that this is the problem. Nope. That's not the problem. Problem. Let's see. I think I know where the problem is. Let's make sure. See item extended cost. Oh. Yes, the MPQ is the problem. Sorry. I'm kind of tired. Okay, so let me make sure that fixed. I think it'd also be kind of fun to have quests in the canals. I don't know. Maybe have invaders trying to come in through the sewers or something like that. Yeah, so let's see. Character. Quests for the Scourge Invasion start at level 14. I don't have any Scourge harassing Goldshire. I did, but I don't know. I think you need to be nice to new players, otherwise they'll end up quitting the game. And I think you just need to have a certain power threshold before you can actually start contributing to the world anyway.
Here.
Why is this broken? Did I not delete my cache? Know what it is? I probably put the wrong ID for the charger. Scourge Dust. Make sure. Five for the tabard. Let's look at extended. NPC vendor is actually where we're putting this stuff. And his ID is 1284. And I gotta open up my VC that I can actually see what everything costs. And then I have to cross-reference that. It's a pain in my butt. Alright, let's see. So two 1002. Yeah, so that's the problem. So look up max death charger is 23,193. Maybe. Two, right? That's for 200 Scourge tokens. I might even increase that because having a level 60 mount before you reach level 60 would be really easy. So, Scourge Dust. Oops.
Hello.
You bliss. Alright, let's see. So, Scourge Dust is 60,090. I want it to be 45, so it's 3,001. Where are you? Apparently I added you twice. Alright, so delete you because you are nonsensical. And 3001. And let's see. What else do I need to
Life be
fix?
with you. What can I do?
I think
for
that's
you
about it.
today?
Yeah, I mean, I could probably get away with making that even more expensive, because trinkets are so hard to get in vanilla, and I wanted to make trinkets not supremely overpowered, the ones that I create,
Welcome to the cathedral.
because none of the
light.
trinkets are very overpowered until you reach like BWL, maybe even EQ max. But yeah. So, anyway, I think that's where I'm going to leave things off for the night. I am going to get started on a couple things tomorrow. Thank you guys for hanging out with me for so long. And yeah, keep an eye on things. I'll leave a link in the description if I haven't already to the Discord for the repack that'll be releasing here on the 31st. Things won't be 100% complete, obviously. and this is going to be something that is seriously a long-term project for me, and it's really only going to get better as I get better with coding, as I get better with art assets and importing maps and things of that nature. So yeah, hope you guys stick around, and I'll see you later.